A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to the webinar on TCS NQT, your students' gateway to thousands of top jobs in multiple corporates. We will have the live session for 1 hour, out of which we will have a Q&A session towards the end for about 15-20 minutes. You can post your questions with your name and institute name in the chat window. All the participants will be on mute. Today we have Mr. Manivanan Ranganathan, who is the Program Director for TCS NQT. He is currently driving the TCS National Qualified Test Initiative for TCS and Business Unit, and he has rich experience in IT sector with more than 28 years of work experience, out of which the last 24 years are with TCS. He has handled delivery, client relationship management, and business development for many TCS insurance clients in US and India. And he has set up the automation platform for 100 plus educational institutes across India. Welcome to this live session, Mani. Over to you now.
Good evening to all of you, and thank you for taking time to be part of this discussion today. I'll spend about 30 to 40 minutes to explain what this concept is, how we have constructed this in a way where it will benefit you as an institution and your students as well. And towards the end, we'll take up some questions in case you have some doubts on what we have explained. TCS National Qualifier Test is a nationwide test we have created to improve the employability of your students, thereby transforming your placement process. Right. Today I will talk about what the product is, what kind of benefits you can get by partnering with TCS iON in this initiative, what is the kind of job support we have provided for students, and there are some discussions about free versus paid, so I will talk about as well so that you are clear on it, and maybe certain next steps that we can get into. Now, as I told you, it is NQT is a nationwide test we do to assess students on their cognitive ability, their psychometric profile, their industry awareness, and the subject knowledge on different areas. When students take part in this test, they are given an NQT score. Now, most corporates, when they hire freshers, they look for a cognitive competency, which is typically measured in the areas of verbal, numerical, and reasoning. And many of them also look for a psychometric profile, depending on the type of role, maybe a sales role versus a customer-facing role versus a front office clerk or a retail sales associate, right? So different roles, they look for different skills and in terms of a psychometric profile. And hence, these two are predominantly very important for almost every corporate. I would say, in some sense, it is industry agnostic, right? But we also felt that there is a gap between what the students are having as knowledge today versus what the corporates are expecting to benefit out of the knowledge for the students, right? So there is a missing component, which is industry relevant knowledge, and that is what we are trying to address through these two additional areas, which is industry NQT and subject NQT. Industry NQT is a test that tests the candidate's awareness in a particular industry. If someone is interested in IT career, they can take the industry NQT for information technology. Someone for banking can take a banking and financial services. So we have created different industry NQTs for different industry segments, so that anyone aspiring for a particular career in that can take the test and have a score to showcase their knowledge in that area. Right? Subject NQT, these are more technical, functional, role driven. Example could be like maybe a programming test, accountant test, financial markets and services test, digital marketing, cloud computing, big data. So these are specialized areas in some sense where if someone is aspiring for an IT career, it will be good for them to have these additional subject areas, because if a company is looking to hire people in those skills, then this candidate has a better chance, because not only they have cognitive ability, they also are able to showcase additional knowledge through a score in a big data, for example, right? Or TCS, for example, looks for proficiency in cognitive as well as programming. So if someone is having a programming score, has a good chance in TCS and many other IT companies for that matter, right? So it is very important for someone to look at what industry areas that they want to make a career in, accordingly choose the right industry and subject NQTs apart from cognitive and a psychometric test. Right? Now this whole 4-tier structure is what we believe will be a differentiated set of tests that we administer so that the students can get a significant advantage when they apply for a job with our partner corporates. Now, in terms of who is this for, right? We have made it very inclusive. Any graduate, whether it is engineering, non-engineering, or a UG, PG diploma, or someone who is graduated or currently graduating or graduating next year can also take it, because we really want almost everyone to find a job that is meeting their skills, their current capability, and their current career aspiration. Also, maybe a pre-final year student, it might be an opportunity for them to feel what this test is and benchmark themselves in terms of where they are. And if there are certain areas that they can improve on, they can improve on it as well, because we do provide multiple attempts to keep improving the score. We do this every quarter, right? The current exam or the next exam is planned for August and the subsequent in November, which means that if someone takes this in August, they can always benchmark themselves, and if they're good, then just stay with that, because the score itself is valid for 2 years. In case they did not do well, then learn more, practice more, then come back and take the test again, right? And like I said, cognitive is the basic common ability that all corporates look for, and hence it's mandatory for the students to take it in case they're interested in an NQT score. We are currently supporting this exam in both models, in center as well as remote. Now, what is it we've done so far, right? We started this TCS NQT as an initiative in October 2020. And so far, close to 5.5 lakh students have taken this test. And these students have come from 2,000 plus colleges, right? Which is pan-India. It has deemed autonomous private institutions, affiliated colleges, government institutions. So it has got wider, even INIs, institutes of national importance. So it has got a wider coverage of students who are who have believed in how TCS NQT can help them in their job journey, right? And we have partnered with a lot of corporates. TCS is definitely one of them, and we have partnered with more corporates as well to be part of the job listing platform and hire students that come out of this test, right? To help students, we also created a couple of career readiness packs, right? An IT pack and a BFS pack, banking and financial services pack, where IT pack has a cognitive skill, programming skill, and psychometric test. And BFS has cognitive plus financial markets and services and psychometric, right? Now, from an institution perspective, if you look at it, what does it mean to become a partner, right? One of the things we are clear in our approach is that as an institution, if you're looking to partner, we really want this to be driven out of your students' payment directly and not from you. We believe that it is a lot of additional responsibility and effort on your side to manage this whole thing in terms of procuring licenses or managing the payments and all that. So we have created a post-paid model where you do not have to pay anything at all. Based on your partnership with TCS iON, we will create license codes or activation codes, and we will mail this to the students, and they can buy it directly in the iON Learning Hub at a discounted price, which I agree with the institutions, right? It's a very simple model we have created, and all it takes is about maybe 5 to 10 minutes of registration, because we need to know who you are as an institution. So it's about 5 to 10 minutes of registration from your end. Post that, we need to know who are your interested students, right? Meaning someone, let's say you are a college with about 1,000 students in your final year, right? Maybe if you believe that all 1,000 students can benefit from it, then you send us the email IDs of the students, right? So that's all we need, nothing else. Now, based on these email IDs, we will initiate automated mail from our system with the activation code and the steps required to activate this code so that the students can act on it from their end. So when they go to the website and use this code to activate, whatever is the agreed price, for example, if 1,000 rupees is the list price on the platform, and based on a discount model, we have worked out a 700 rupees price for you, then the student can buy it at 700 rupees and not at 1,000 rupees. So as an institution, you are creating a value for your student by this partnership, right? And we are making it very friction free by making sure that this is all done at a student end and not at your end. Now, what are some additional benefits that you can get by registering as a partner, right? First and foremost, today, when say 500 students or 800 students participate from your institution, you do not have visibility in terms of how many of them have participated in the test, what is the test performance, how many of them applied for jobs, have got placed in TCS and some other companies. You lack visibility in terms of what their test performance levels are, what their job search related processes success are. And that is something we want to fix. We want to create that as a dashboard for you so that you can get a view to what they're doing. We can also look at certain analytics in terms of maybe if there are 800,000 students, like I said, what is the kind of performance of the students in a range? Maybe how many of them have scored more than 70%. So you get some analytics driven out of it so that you can figure out additional interventions that you might want to do to help improve participation, help improve performance of these candidates, right? I talked about the job status that you can get. I talked about the discounted price. Like I said, if the college enrollment is high, then the discount can go up as high as 30% discount on the list price. We also believe that in case there are some corporates that are coming to you for hiring today and they are not a listed corporate partner today, then you can let us know. We can always approach them saying that you seem to be hiring a lot from this college, but you're not partner in this initiative. Why don't you partner with us? So we can always talk to them as well, but definitely joining it is their decision. But at least we can approach from our side and see if they can be partner to this job listing initiative as well. Now, how does this whole job search journey work, right? As a student, they've had a career aspiration. Someone wanted a banking career, let's say. So they decided to write cognitive test. They decided to write a psychometric test. Then they thought maybe a banking and financial services industry NQT. Then they did one financial markets and services subject NQT. So they believe that they've got the right set of tests done and they have scores in these areas, right? What next? So what we have done is we have, like I said, partnered with 180 plus. In fact, that was wrong in that slide. It was 180 plus corporates that we have partnered with, where they are part of a job listing portal today, where they come and post jobs, and these jobs are available for the students who complete NQT, right? Now, today, why will a corporate come here, right? Number one, we are using NQT score as a filter, performance indicator and a filter, so that the selection process becomes easy for the corporate. Today they go to a job portal for a job with 100 vacancies, maybe 10,000 applications come, and the only filter they might have is maybe an academic score or a 12th score or a 10th score, right? Apart from location and few other filters, right? Or maybe a graduation degree. But there is not much of a filter on cognitive. Like I said, corporate looks for cognitive ability, but there is nothing in these portals to look at what their cognitive ability is, and that is what we are fixing. We are saying that in my portal, I've got 5.5 lakh students who are certified in NQT with a certain score. If you have a job opening for freshers, you come and partner in this portal, apply, or rather post your jobs here. Let the students apply with their NQT scores. Then you shortlist. Now, there are questions in terms of what is a good score and what score can guarantee a job. There is no direct answer, but typically a performance of score of about 70-75% is a good starting point for someone to start aspiring for a job. Right? Most corporates look for about 70-75% score, right? But beyond that, they might look at your academic performance, your your project work, the kind of maybe non or extracurricular activities you've done, the way you perform in the interview or a group discussion, in case there is an additional test that they conduct as part of their selection process, all this matter in your job selection. But the first step in terms of filtering could be based on a cognitive score, and that is what you need to do well. And like I said, if someone is looking for a financial analyst, and if you've taken a financial markets and services subject NQT, and you've got a banking and financial services industry NQT, you're likely to have an advantage over someone who does not have it. Right? That is where we are trying to build that industry relevance, industry certified knowledge, right? So that becomes a differentiator for you as a candidate or for your students as a candidate, right? So all this come into play. And from a platform perspective, what we do, we expect corporates to register, they post jobs. Students who have written the NQT can apply based on a set of criterion: degree, cognitive score, maybe an academic percentage, location, and few other parameters. The corporates can shortlist. Then they will do an interview. Today, our platform has a capability to do an online interview as well. They can take the interview online itself. Post that, they might shortlist and select. Like I said, TCS is using NQT score as the only means of fresher hiring. Any fresher joining TCS has to have an NQT score, right? Now, this is what I was talking about in terms of our effort to bring in a lot of partners to this job listing platform, right? We looked at certain sectors which are hiring freshers heavily, and we are talking to the large players in these sectors or in these industries to partner with us, right? Like I said, in fact, I talked about NQT score as a differentiator. The second differentiator is this platform is free for them. If they go to any other portal, job portal, they end up actually paying some money for using the portal. Or if they end up doing a test on their own, right? They use HackerRank or HackerEarth to do a test on their own, then that's a cost for them. So here we are saying the same test is something we have done on their behalf without any cost to them, and there is a certified pool available to them. That is what we are offering as value to corporate, right? So we expect corporates to come on board this platform so that they can look at this talented certified pool that they can hire from, right? In IT, as I said, TCS, apart from TCS, Tata Elxsi, Tech Mahindra, Mphasis, Exaware, financial services, we have got Bajaj Finserv, Mahindra Finance, Muthoot. So you look at it, we are trying to bring in some of the top names. I would say this is still not a done deal. We really are targeting to at least get to 1,000 plus by end of this year, which is, I'm talking about the top names, and at least 500, 400 to 500 by end of Q2, which is July or September, end of September, right? So it is something that if your students are aspiring for a job, it is the right time to take this test, get a score, because score itself is valid for 2 years. It's not that I take a test now and I don't have a job, or I don't have my dream company in this list. It's not a problem. Maybe as and when we onboard more companies, more jobs, your students will find some corporates, some job roles that are relevant for them, they can apply. And the score is, as I said, valid for 2 years. So next 2 years, they can continue to apply if at all they don't find something that is suitable or palatable to them. Or in case they try for 3 months and they find that with the performance levels that they have got, or with the kind of certifications or subjects they've chosen, it is not sufficient to get over to the selection step, then they can always look at improving the score or looking at additional subject NQT so that they can differentiate further and further better. Believe me, when you sit in an interview and if someone is asking to talk about who you are and what you have done, one could just talk about what they've done in the academic area or talk about how they have additionally built industry knowledge by looking at these industry certifications. I think this is where, as your students take this test, it becomes a great differentiator for them to talk about it in the interviews as well. Now, I do hear a lot about this in my discussions with the head of institutions like you. So I thought I'll address it upfront and maybe take up some questions in this as well, in terms of this TCS NQT free versus paid, right? So TCS ION is an exam conducting body, right? I am responsible for doing a test, which is a job readiness test, which is like certifying students on certain skills so that using those certified scores, they can get a job. TCS or any other company, right? And that any other company is something, a big list I'm building, like I told you. And my role as TCS ION is a exam conducting body, right? TCS, on the other hand, is a corporate which is hiring every year. They do fresher hiring, they do off-campus hiring, they do BSc hiring, BCom hiring, they do a lot of hiring, right? What hiring they do, how much they do, it's completely up to them. One thing for sure is, for a fresher hiring, NQT cognitive score is the only means, and for IT hiring, they also mandate programming score. TCS as a corporate, at its discretion, can decide to do this exam at no cost. But that is TCS decision for people wanting to get a career in TCS. But TCS ION as an exam conducting body, I am doing a test not only for TCS, this is a corporate agnostic test I'm doing, so that using the score, your students can get a job in any company, TCS included. TCS is not excluded, TCS included. Now, these are some of the reasons why a student of yours should opt for a paid test. Let's say there is an option of a free. I do not know if it is free or not. As I said, it's completely a TCS decision to do that, and I cannot influence that, right? However, I want to explain you how this TCS NQT versus a TCS selection test that might be a free test will be different, right? Like I said, if your students are interested in jobs beyond TCS, they have to look at TCS NQT and not take a free product. One of the things I am telling from my experience is that anything that is free is not valued, is not taken seriously, right? Look at some statistics. When the students pay for it, right, their performance seems to be better. Why? Because they've invested in it. They wanted to make sure that their money doesn't go waste. When they perform better, what happens? Their score gets better. Their chance of getting a job in TCS is higher, or if not TCS, getting a job in any other corporate also becomes higher because their score is high. In terms of even participating in a readiness test, we have seen that only 70% of the cases do not even appear for this infrastructure test, right? When I'm doing a remote assessment as an additional model of support, only 30% appear, 70% do not appear because they think it's free. If my computer is not working now, I can always take it next time. What is a big deal? But that is not. If you actually have not taken it, you've missed an opportunity to benchmark yourself. You've missed an opportunity to position yourself for a job, right? Now, this is another important factor, right? TCS is a corporate, in case that continues to be a paid model, right? I do not know, as I said, whether it's paid or free. If TCS selection is a paid model, then any student actually who is paying to write this TCS NQT, right? Let's say I am graduating in 2022. I'm interested in a TCS job. I write this test and I score about 85%. Then I apply for this, rather I applied for a paid TCS NQT product. I got 85%. I applied to TCS. TCS calls me for an interview, which means that I get shortlisted based on my 85% score. Now, irrespective of whether I get selected or not, my money that I paid for NQT will be reimbursed, which means that for TCS selection, any shortlisted and a candidate who appears for the interview, forget selection, even appearing for an interview, the students will get their money back. This is only for TCS, because TCS as a corporate is telling that if someone is paying to write a test to join me, I want to make it cost neutral for them. I want to reimburse that money. That's a call that TCS as a company is taking. Some other company like L&T or Tata Elxsi may not do that. They are saying that, yeah, fine, let of students have taken a test to get themselves certified, so be it. I'm using that for hiring, and that's where it ends for me. So each corporate can decide whether to reimburse for the test fees or not. TCS as a company is doing that, which means that if there is a student who wrote the test and got shortlisted, they can get their test fees back for cognitive and for programming test. Now, anyone who is not getting shortlisted needs support now, right? They need to look at other corporates now, and hence this paid model comes in handy. I'm going to talk about differences in the next slide. Just bear with me for a minute. And the last is about the pricing, right? I told that certain payment brings in seriousness with the students, right? At the same time, we have made it very affordable, right? You look at a 30% discount for your students, it's about 420 rupees for cognitive and 280 rupees for programming, right? Together, it's about 700 rupees, let's say, right? A dinner today costs about 1,000 rupees even for a single individual. We are talking about a test that is going to help them start their career, right? And investing in it, if it is going to improve their performance, make sure they participate in the infrastructure check, and make sure that they do their exam well, perform better, and get selected in TCS or other companies, I think it is worth the investment. So it is not about 700 rupees, it's about the commitment that brings in along with this investment, right? And like I said, we have made it affordable because we wanted to make sure that people across different strata of society participate in it and get an opportunity to get placed. To top it all, we are also creating 2 practice tests in the cognitive skills. As I told you, cognitive skill is the most important skill all the corporates look for. We have created 2 practice tests. So anyone buying a paid NQT will have 2 practice tests, which means that they can take a test, get the score 60%, 80%, 90%, understand where they are lacking, improve on it so that for the actual exam, they can do much better. So this is something we are adding as value for the paid students. Now let's talk about briefly, right, in terms of how this paid versus free works, right? Let's talk about a typical institution with 1,000 students, right? And let us take a scenario, none of them are applying to the paid NQT. Everyone thought that I will go with the free model. So none of them participated. And let us say TCS shortlisted about 200 of them and 100 got selected. Now, out of 1,000 student base that the institutions like you have, 100 got placed in TCS. Great, very good. What happens to the remaining 900 now? They need support in terms of a chance to apply to other corporates. And that is where a paid model comes in, where it opens up opportunities beyond TCS. So that 700 rupees investment, if you are getting selected in TCS, you get that money back. And in case you are not part of this 100, you definitely need the NQT score because you need to apply to other companies and get a job now. This is how simple it is, right? If you all believe that I will not apply, yeah, that's always an option with you. But can all 1,000 get placed in TCS in every college? There are close to 40,000 colleges and maybe about tons of students getting graduated every year. TCS cannot employ all of them. There is going to be some criterion and there is going to be shortlisting. There is going to be inclusion and exclusion. So we have to look at what is that we can look at across selected candidates and not selected candidates, right? Now let's look at the exact opposite of this. And there can always be something in between. Don't complicate it. I'm just trying to simplify it so that you understand this better, right? Let's talk about another institution B, where all 1,000 applied, right? So again, same 200 got shortlisted, 100 got selected. The 100 got their money back. The 900 now have a score, NQT score, with which they can apply to companies now. That's the difference. Earlier in the previous one, the 900 did not have any other choice because they were not selected in TCS. Here, these 900 have a choice now to apply to the partner companies that I am bringing to the job listing platform. And as I said, it is not this 180, it's continued to go and grow. And these scores are valid for next 2 years. So the students who participated in this paid model can use their good scores to get employed anytime in the next 2 years. I'm not going to go through each bullet, but wanted to quickly tell you how a free and a paid NQT product compares, right? If you're taking a free test of TCS, in case TCS test is free, TCS selection test is free, right? There is no scorecard given to you because you're writing a TCS specific exam. It's almost like TCS is sponsoring you. There is a cost and TCS says, I will pay for the student. You don't have to charge the student, right? Which means that I am going to conduct the test and give the result of those candidates only to TCS. The candidates will not get a scorecard. They cannot apply to any other company. They can apply only to TCS. And on top of it, TCS hiring, annual hiring will be only for 2022 graduating students. And if it is IT hiring, for example, if TCS opens up IT hiring sometime in say September, October, whenever they open up, it might be for BE, BTech, ME, MTech, MSc, MCA, I think 6 degrees, right? The remaining degrees, even if they are 2022 graduates, they need support. So to think that TCS free test is a solution for all candidates, it will not work. Number one, year of graduation, if it is different, you need support. Number two, if you're in degrees other than the 6 I mentioned, you need support. Number three, anyone who is not getting selected in TCS needs support. That is where the paid model comes in. I've sort of summarized it all here so that you know that a payment of 700 rupees can get tons of benefits. So you have to look at it in terms of cost versus benefit and not just look at cost alone, right? I talked about the college benefits in terms of a dashboard. I talked about the students' performance, and better performance, better placement, and your brand value as an institution improves significantly, right? So I'll move on. This is my last slide. I'm going to summarize what I spoke, right? In terms of some of the key challenges you face as an institution and what is that we are doing as TCS Ion to address it. My interactions with people like you has told that you do not get visibility on the students' performance. I'm addressing it through dashboards and reports that you will get eyes on. Again, feedback that you do not have view of who got hired. See, typically, any placement that happens in college, you're in control. But the moment that placement season is over, right, then once the students are out, then any action that happens in terms of initiative on their own to do something like this, you don't get that feedback in terms of how many of them got placed in which company, what salary level and things like that, right? So that is something we want to bring that visibility to you as an institution, because you're a partner with us, and through you, the students are getting a discounted code, and hence, as your sponsor, as the student sponsor, you becoming a student sponsor in some sense, I can always share that student's data with you. We will put some acceptance from the students as well for this, but this is something you as an institution should have visibility so that you're able to fine-tune your placement processes, your preparation processes for job readiness, all this towards this data, right? Improving this data. Another feedback that while test is there is not an easy way to prepare. So I can look at it in two ways: learning content and assessment content for preparation. Right now, I have focused on the test, preparatory test or a practice test to do it. I am also looking at additional learning content. Maybe in about 3 months' time, I will roll that out as well, where some sort of a learning content is available for students who can use that to prepare and take this NQT so that the scores can be better. Right now, it is a practice test. The preparation is outside. Based on the preparation, they can take a practice test, which means that they can look at the speed of their response. They can look at each of these questions have a time limit, right? So under that time pressure for a question, are they able to think and answer? So it's like a actual exam in a practice mode, right? So that gives a lot of confidence to take the final exam and do it without much of risk, right? I talked about looking at industries beyond TCS and beyond IT, right? As I told you a slide where I'm looking at 10 industries and top players in each of these industries, right? I want to look at all degrees, engineering, non-engineering, IT, non-IT. We really want to look at creating a platform for providing jobs across all streams other than or beyond IT, right? And some companies or not many companies are coming to the college for recruitment, right? Sometimes maybe there is a limited placement sessions or limited placement companies coming there. So there again, based on the students' suggestions and your suggestions, we can look at bringing in more corporates into the job listing platform, right? So this is where I will stop. And in one sentence, all these benefits to you and your students comes at absolutely no cost to you directly as an institution. All you do is just partner with us. Maybe for 10 minutes, you partner with us by registering, and post that your students can get an activation code and they can get it at a discount. And you as an institution can pass on these benefits to your students. This is where I'll stop and I'll take questions from here.
Sure, Mani, thank you.
Shubhra, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mani. So I will just put up the questions one by one. The questions asked by many of them is when will be the next exam in August? What is the date and what is the last date for registration? In fact, they want to know in November what is the date that has been finalized or if it has been finalized for the November exam.
November dates are not finalized. August dates we will inform you towards, I would say, middle of July.
The next question from Mr. Kumar Chandra is TCS hiring throughout NQT in August or September, or it is just through TCS partners? Like only the TCS partners, the partners who are with for this TCS NQT, they will be recruiting, or TCS hiring will also be done through the August and November, those students who have got the NQT score? I think this is the question which is being asked.
Okay. Let me make sure that I answer it properly. See, TCS as a corporate is hiring for IT roles, BPO roles, right? So they do multiple drives, which is the fresher hiring drives, right? So they might do one in, say, October, November, whenever they do for IT hiring. They might do one more. For example, in May, recently they did for BPO hiring, right? So they do different drives, right? And that is completely based on the calendar of TCS as a corporate, which I cannot decide, which I cannot comment, right? They also do, other than fresher hiring, something called off-campus hiring, right? Which is about the students who already graduated for their immediate demand, right? So this fresher hiring is typically for the, or not typically, fresher hiring is for the graduates graduating next year. Off-campus hiring is for graduates who are already graduated, 2021, 2020, 2019, like that, right? Now, most companies, not just TCS, most companies have this approach. For something that is a future demand, they look at a fresher who is graduating next year. And for someone, for some demand that is immediate, they look for graduates who have already graduated. So whether you take the test in August or November or subsequently in February, it depends on whether you're a 2022 graduate, 2021 graduate, or 2020 graduate. And as and when these companies open up a drive, you apply there. So whether you can appear in August, you can appear in November, you can appear in February, but you can apply to each corporate as and when they open up a particular drive. So it is not that you take one, this TCS NQT, for example, is not a job application. TCS NQT is a job readiness test application. When you write the test, you will get a score. Using that score, you can apply for a job. Now, this is not a TCS job application. So you have to go to TCS and apply for a job. You have to go to L&T and apply for a job. Now, what we have done is for TCS is still having its own separate application portal because their volume of applications is too large and they wanted to keep it separate. But we have brought in 180 plus partners into the job listing portal So that for these companies, when they post jobs, you can look at what is the eligibility criteria. If the eligibility criteria is 2022 graduate, you can apply with an August score. If the eligibility criteria is 2020 or 2019 graduation, you can apply right there. So it depends on the specific job opening and the eligibility criteria that goes with that. And this is throughout the year, right? Each company has one fresher hiring cycle for the next year graduates, and the off-campus or the already graduated graduates hiring happens throughout the year. As and when there is a business demand, they need people, then they put up a job request and then people apply. You can go and look at any of the existing portals, Naukri or Freshers World or Monster. You will see a lot of companies still asking for freshers. These are people who have graduated already because these are for immediate requirement.
Thanks for the detailed answering to the question, Mani. The next question is like, what are the resources or how should their students prepare for TCS NQT? Is there any material available or any test, like there are practice tests available as you have mentioned, so they want to know about that.
Yeah, like I said, from a test preparedness perspective, there is a practice test that I'm giving. From a learning perspective, how can I prepare and get high score in NQT? Today, I do not have a learning content, right? But there are tons of material available. If you just search on how do you improve your cognitive ability, there is a lot of online material. I've come across one book by Wiley, right? It's available on Amazon, I think about $3.99 or something. So maybe if any of you have any of your institutions have seen it, or you can buy it and see it, you can subsequently subscribe to your students as well. That sort of talks about preparation for NQT, TCS NQT, right? But you don't have to necessarily pay for it as well. There are tons of free material available. So it is just that as an institution, if you can ask your some of your teaching department staff or placement staff to do some research on this, they will get you tons of material on this, and then you can pass it on to your students who can benefit from it. Because what we are testing is not something very, very special to TCS NQT. What we are testing is a generic ability on numerical, verbal, and reasoning, which is more or less someone who has done well in the 10th standard should be able to do well with practice. Someone did 10th, say 5 years, 6 years back, and then without any preparation, they go into this test, they will not do well. But they have the fundamental concepts of 10th very well understood. Then they prepare in terms of improving the speed, improving in terms of different patterns, right? Maybe there is a ratio question, there is a age question, there is a histogram question, right? Or there is a compound interest question, right? So you have to know certain patterns, right? And then if you practice on those patterns, then it becomes easy. And it is not that I'm giving away answers, right? Because at the end of the day, corporates are not looking to do a test which no one can crack. See, corporates are looking for some skills which is almost like foundational skills, right? Why is verbal important? Because you need to be able to write an email, write a proposal document, be able to talk to their customer, right? Or support engineers, right? So, or why will they need reasoning? You need to react. You need to look at data and react to it. Numerical, you need to understand data. So everywhere, this is about foundational knowledge that one needs when they join a company as a fresher. This is not about advanced skills in these areas.
Sure, Mani. The next question is, many participants want to know, like TCS have multiple formats like TCS Ignite, TCS Next, TCS NQT, TCS Code Vita. So, what is the difference, one thing, and how they will be eligible? Like if they give TCS NQT, will their students be eligible for TCS digital profile?
I do not want to comment on different types of TCS. If there is a portal, TCS is publishing all these things, whether you're an institution or college or a student, you should go and search it there, because the eligibility criterion and the prerequisites and the timelines all that is decided by TCS HR. I am not part of TCS HR. So I cannot comment on all these things. But one thing I can tell you is that IT hiring, which is the TCS Ninja test, right, is based on NQT score. TCS Digital does not use NQT score. It's a separate TCS specific test. Ninja test is what is being used for NQT score, or rather Ninja test or Ninja hiring uses NQT score for selection.
Sure, Mani. The next question is, what is the cutoff for qualifying the TCS NQT exam? And the second part of it is there any syllabus for the respective TCS NQT variants, like for cognitive or the subject NQTs?
I'll answer the second part first. The syllabus for each product is part of the product page itself. You just have to be patient and scroll down, and there are multiple sections talking about who is this product for, why should you take this product, what is a product construct, right? That construct gives you the syllabus, and then there are questions related to the NQT itself, right? So you can go through that every detail. Because we are a technology player, we have made everything online, so that information at your fingertips. You don't have to ask me this question; it's available there. And for the first part, what was that first part again, Himshubra?
It was that what is the cutoff for qualifying
Correct. Understood. Yeah, I told you at the beginning of the, I think somewhere in one of the slides, I said, see, cutoff is something which is decided by the corporate, right? So you compare this to a CAT exam, right? Your students write CAT. Now IMA, no, there is a cutoff for IMA which is decided by IMA to say that for the number of applicants who have applied with me, I want to put 95 as the cutoff, maybe, right? Some other BIMS in Trichy might say that maybe 80 is the cutoff for me. So each institution decides the cutoff. Same way, I am an exam conducting body. I give score. I do not dictate, I cannot dictate to a corporate, whether it is TCS or L&T or Tata Elxsi or Chroma, saying that this is your cutoff, because their HR decides for a particular job what should be the cutoff, right? Maybe they're hiring for a developer, they might say 75% is the cutoff. They are taking someone for a BPO call center, they might say 50% is the cutoff. So it is not even at a company level, it is at a job role level, and that is decided one and only by the HR of that company, which sometimes they might publish it in the job description, but sometimes they may not publish it because again they might want it flexible. See, you have to put yourself in the shoes of a HR. If they are desperate for 100 positions, they might sometimes compromise certain threshold. It's up to them. Where out for 100 jobs, 200 people applied, they might want to lower the threshold. For 100 open positions, 10,000 people applied, they might want to increase the threshold. So they may not want to publish the cutoff also in the job description. So it's completely dynamic, fluid, up to the corporate and based on job role to decide what is good. But as I said, based on what I have seen, typically about 70-75% is a good score. I'm not saying it is a guaranteed score. If you're about 90% and above, very high chance of getting a job. But if you're 70-75%, there is a relatively good chance. But if you're less than 70, it is difficult. Typically, it is difficult. But again, as I said, this is completely based on what the corporate and the job role demands.
Sure, Mani, thank you for that. The next question is, how can TCS or TCS NQT help in uplifting students from rural areas in terms of the placement?
See, one of the things that we find challenge in rural areas is sometimes they're studying in an institution which does not support placement. Many corporates do not visit their campus. So campus placement is a challenge, right? Second, they do not have the right platform to showcase their ability or capability. And that is what we are addressing here. We are saying that whether you are a tier 1, 2, 3, 4 student, doesn't matter. If you have the right attitude, aptitude, then prepare, take this test, benchmark yourself in terms of your ability, and then be seen by the corporates. A corporate might be based out of Chennai, and someone might be applying from Thoothukudi or from Srinagar in Jammu. Maybe for the corporate, it's up to the corporate to decide. Maybe post selection, if the candidate is willing to shift to Chennai, they'll say, doesn't matter where you are from today, as long as they're willing to shift to my place. That is one way to look at it. Or the company is looking for 100 positions in Thoothukudi and 100 positions in Srinagar, then it exactly meets the requirement. They don't have to relocate, right? So all these are visibilities that we are creating by bringing a large pool of certified talent on one side and a large pool of job providers on the other side. And our aspiration is exactly that, to be the largest portal in the world where anyone can come to this platform to get a job, and any company can come to this platform to find a job seeker and get the right fit profile. Today, they do get it, but it comes at a cost and time and effort. And that is what we are trying to address. Make it easy for the corporates to hire. Because if that process is made easy, then it will benefit a lot of students who do not have a platform to be heard of today.
Thanks, Mani. The next question is that how many times their students can give TCS NQT, and is there any limitations? And the second part of it is that if a student have got say 70% score, is it enough for the NQT for the cognitive test? Is there any cutoff, like as you have mentioned earlier also?
No, do not ask the cutoff question again, Shubhra. Third time I've answered. The first part, your question is, now if you ask multiple questions, sometimes I find it hard to keep track of all your questions. What is your first question?
First question is like how many times the students can give the
how many
TCS
times?
NQT exam?
So there is no limit on the number of times the students can take it, right? So my plan is to do this test every quarter. So if a student does well, they can stop at the first attempt, right? And as I said, 90% score, get a job in TCS or some other large corporates, happy, done deal. Someone is not, someone got 75%, you try for 6 months, it works, great, you're also through. It doesn't work, then you attempt again, right? And if you got 50%, I would say that you should prepare and take the test again, because very unlikely that you might get something to that level. You have to find a way to improve your ability or find a job that is suited for you. For example, like I told you, there could be some jobs where higher cognitive ability is not required, right? So then accordingly, the salary levels might be low, the job description, the job responsibilities might be different. Then you have to compromise. Either you improve yourself or compromise on the job role. These are the choices for you, right? But there is no limit on the number of attempts. And also from a test score perspective, if you take multiple attempts, we consider the best score and not the latest score. If someone got 80% of the first attempt and gets 75% of the second attempt, we consider only 80% because that is the best of the two.
Sure, Mani. The next question is, can a third year student write TCS NQT?
Yes. As I said, we definitely want students to know what this test is, get an experience on this, get a benchmark for themselves. And if they have done well, even in third year, let's say they got 95%, yeah, use that next year. You don't have to write again next year.
Sure. So once a student pays, how many this particular score is valid for how many years? And if they are appearing again, then again the student has to pay for TCS NQT?
The score is valid for 2 years, and yes, they have to pay again, because there is a cost associated with conducting the exam as well. And like I said, see, it is about the seriousness, right? If I allow multiple attempts and if each subsequent attempts are free, where is the seriousness to write the first attempt well? So it is about making sure that only serious candidates participate in this initiative, because it's, believe me, it's a lot of effort for us, right? And there is cost associated with it, and we want to make sure that we only attract the serious candidates. If someone is not serious about it, I think they should just not participate in this.
Sure, Mani. The next question is, can students who are from 2022 batch, pass out from 2022 batch, can attend the upcoming NQT in August?
Yes, they can.
And the exam will be offline or online? Most of them have
That's a
this
difficult
question.
question to answer sitting on 30th of June. But right now, we have opened up the application in both modes. We want to wait for maybe another 2 to 3 weeks time, and then that is why I said even the date I want to finalize based on that, because we are seeming to taper off on wave 2 in COVID, and then there is a talk of wave 3. So I do not know how the situation will be if I announce an in-center as well, right? So whether in-center will be there or not, I do not know. But if the COVID situation is better, we do have plans to do it in center as well. But again, if the situation is bad, we may do only remote. And in case someone is registered with in-center as an option, we will give them a window of 2-3 days where they can change to a remote model in case they have a computer at home. Right? I have a computer at home, but I decided to go to in-center. Now, if in-center is not happening, I can change it to remote. That window we will provide down the line. But I am someone, I chose in-center because I don't have a computer at home. Then I cannot change to remote. Then you have to wait for the in-center. So we will actually be postponing the exam for all these in-center candidates who cannot convert to a remote model. And we will do it once the COVID situation improves and government allows.
Thanks for that, Mani. The next question is, if anyone misses the first attempt of TCS NQT, he or she can appear for it again?
As I said, they can appear with one more payment. Every attempt is paid.
Specific questions like the educators want to know, like if it is cognitive, what are the IT subjects or what the students need to prepare exactly. So those syllabus will be available as you have mentioned on the product pages, but they want to know that any specific preparation they need to do, the students need to do.
See, there are two data points available on the product page. Number one, as I said, is the test design or the test construct. What is that? What are the set of topics as part of the test itself, right? The second one is a sample test. This is different from practice test. Sample test is a link available in every product page, available for free as well as paid candidates, right? Anyone, in fact, even before buying, someone wants to look at it even before buying, they can go to that product page. There is a link called sample test. When they take that sample test, there is no registration required, there is no payment required. Simply go through that. You, as a student or as a college, will know what sort of questions are coming there. So whether it's a cognitive test or a programming test or a digital marketing test, each one of them have a sample test. By going through the sample test, you will come to know the kind of topics being asked there, right? Coming to programming, the programming has two parts: theoretical for about 15 minutes, 10 questions, and hands-on for 45 minutes, 2 questions. The hands-on is a case where someone has to write program for a given question. The languages are in Perl, Python, C, C++, and Java. So if at all you are covering these languages, then just make sure that your students get a hands-on experience on that. In case you're not covering this, you can add this: C, C++, Java, Perl, Python. This is what are the choices available. The students at the time of taking the test, they don't even not even at the time of registration, at the time of taking the test, after seeing the question, can decide, I want to take this question in a Perl or in C++ or Java. At the time of taking the test, the student picks the language and then does the test.
Sure, Mani. The next question is, for TCS NQT, what is the eligibility criteria and marks percentage from 10th to graduation or PG?
Just to clarify, for TCS NQT, which is a job readiness test, there is no eligibility criteria. You just have to be a graduate. Any graduate can apply for this test. However, if you're looking at TCS as a corporate and their IT hiring and the ninja selection, you have to look at TCS website for the eligibility criteria. For TCS NQT as a job readiness test, the only criterion is you're a graduate. That's all. No 10th, no 12th, no arrears, check, nothing.
Sure, Mani, I think most of the questions have been answered. We will take just last two questions because it's already 5:02. So the next question is, what will be the procedure of getting placed in the other 180 plus companies after the students get their NQT score?
Correct. So when they log into the digital learning platform where they wrote the test, right, there will be a link called jobs. When they click on that link, it shows all the available jobs. They can search based on the company, and they can click on each job to find out what is the job description, what is the eligibility criteria, and what are the required skill set. And if it is matching their aspiration, then they can apply for it. Then the corporates look at those applicants and then shortlist based on their selection parameter being met, and then they will call for an interview and get selected. So the
Sure.
next step for a candidate is to log into the job listing log into the digital learning platform, look for a link called jobs. That jobs will be available in their My Dashboard or on the home page. It is very prominent, it cannot be missed.
So the next question and the last question is, many of them want to know that whether their first year or second year students can apply for TCS NQT.
Yeah, you can, but you're likely to be very far away from actual job. But if you want to do it because you want to see what that is and do it, yeah, I don't restrict. As I said, if you are coming in for experience, yeah, go, great, do it. But reason why I even suggested pre-final year, because the score is valid for 2 years, which means that if you score well, you don't have to write again. But if you take it in year one, and by the time you graduate, even if you get 99% score, that score may not be valid by the time you come looking for a job. But if you want to experience it and look at how you can prepare yourself through these 4 years, it's up to you. Absolutely fine.
Sure, Mani. I think we can wrap up the session because we have already, it's 5:05, and it was really helpful, your insights, whatever you have told to the educators. So I think it will be useful to them. So thank you so much for joining, and thanks to all the participants for joining in for this live session today.
Thank you all the educators for taking the time today and joining. I hope it was useful for you to understand what we are doing and how it can make a difference to you and to your students. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.